Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
I think it's.
Betty said you look like the big boss sitting there. Big chief.
Okay, we'll just
Yeah, that's me. You know, big boss.
Oh, that's, oh my gosh.
So where'd you go?
Kathy?
Where did you
Is that
go to dinner, everybody? Oh, that's Kaya.
Hi, Kaya, sweetie.
Kathy's granddaughter, Kaya.
Oh.
See that
You like
red
this
hair?
hair?
Uh-huh.
You like this hair?
There's him
You
in
made
it.
it, Marianne. And you're still awake. I'm proud of you.
I'm on American time, so I'm good right now. I already had a big nap when we got home. So we got home at 9 this morning and it's 9 at night. So we've been home for about 12 hours and I had a good 2-hour nap in there when we first got home. So.
Well, good. How many were on your plane going home?
Went all the way to Idaho, and then they flew back from Arizona.
A little bit more, maybe. So the flight out here was like 20 or 30, and out, I would say there's probably about 50 on this flight back.
Wow, that's all.
But we all got our own rows. We could lay down, and it was nice.
Well, they
Enjoy it.
separated.
Hopefully it won't
Lay down
happen again.
and have a whole row to themselves. That was nice.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. And we had to go get tested for COVID
Uh-huh.
at the airport. So we'll see if we have it.
You had to get swabbed at the airport coming home.
Yeah. So because
Them
we're
at the
in
Germany airport.
Yeah.
we're in a high risk area, so they make us get tested. So
So do you have to stay home until they get the results?
How long do you have to be?
yeah, it's still up in the air. Tomorrow is our first day of school, so we're missing that. And then we're supposed to get the results tomorrow. They said we can call the health ministry and we might not have to quarantine anymore if we're negative. But they may also say, nope, you still have to quarantine for 14 days. It just depends on the area of Germany you live in, what the rules are. So I'm not sure what they'll do. But so my kids are excused for the first 2 weeks of school.
Wow.
But some of it's going to be online anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Glad you're back to Germany safe and sound.
Yes, me too. It was actually traveling back was really, really nice. So it was.
Did you get your doggies?
Easy. We got our doggies back. Yep, and the people that watch them are so good. They took them walking for about 3 hours a day. So they're like lean. Yeah, they'll be sad to be with us again, but so it's good. Hello, Aunt Betty. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. Are you enjoying Germany?
It's so fun.
Are you enjoying
Germany?
Germany?
We are definitely. It's beautiful out here.
So.
Well, you want to explain a little bit more about your kids doing the schooling? Because we are saying that they were homeschooled and now they're going back to school.
Oh yeah, they only did the homeschool with COVID, and really they were online for all of it. So Germany does not allow you to homeschool. It's illegal. They will come put you in jail. So our kids all go to a private school. And they each have a different situation. Tucker does all German, Peter does German and English, and Joseph does English with one German class. So they're all a little different, but yeah, so it's been good.
Interesting. Around here is weird.
Do you know that there was riots in Palm Springs?
No.
They actually had riots in Palm Springs.
Really?
Oh my God.
They had the riots that were here.
Only for one day.
It was one day, but they did some destruction. I'm like, in Palm Springs? So that was, when it first, everybody started being crazy. So
Now they've closed off most of the main street in Palm Springs, so the restaurants can serve outside.
Oh, good idea. Very nice. But it's
They
pretty
won't let
hot
'em
there,
serve
isn't it?
inside yet.
That's Chris.
You know, and unfortunately with all the fires, the air quality, it's almost like a eerie overcast, that the weather has been a little bit nicer.
Well, good.
Oh,
Sorry about the
okay.
fires, but glad it's not so hot.
Hey, Kathy.
So far, there's not been any major fire threatening Palm Springs area, but they've certainly had a major fire all around us.
Yeah.
So we've
Wow.
got, well, it's a halfway sunny day.
Yeah, more than yesterday.
warmer today.
And Lori was
That's just
telling me
because
last night on the phone how bad the fires were all over down there. Down
Are
there.
you getting any smoke in Utah?
Mom, are you guys getting
Yeah, we're
any
getting
smoke in Utah?
some.
Yeah,
We-
it gets worse, you know, and then
Then it gets
it
better.
gets a little better and then it gets worse again. But yes, we are.
What about you, Kathy? Are you up there with, you guys get it worse up there?
Yeah, we had quite a bit of smoke last week, but we had a temperature drop of like 50 degrees overnight where we got down into the
Yeah,
40s
right.
from some Canadian. Then by the weekend, it was back up into almost 90. So
Yeah.
it's been really, but yes, we've had some days where the smoke's really bad. But then if the wind blows, it blows back to you. So, but
This is
yeah,
Chris.
we have, I don't know, Cindy, the Pleasant Grove fire last night.
What, Kath?
Pleasant Grove.
Oh, yeah. Pleasant Grove has a fire now.
Yeah. But I
So
know all the
that's like halfway in between Kathy and I.
yeah, well, and all the firemen are going to California. And
Yes.
so they're deployed to a whole bunch-
They're absolutely terrible here, but they're off on the coast from where we are, so we just get the smoke so far. They
yeah,
haven't
Wow.
seen any fires that would threaten the houses and stuff in this area.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well,
And
on the news last night, it told everybody that had breathing problems or any trouble not to go outside if they don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yep.
Air's
Today
just
it's
not
so
good.
bad, it's not so heavy. But it's ridiculous. The smoke we're
Hi, Chris.
getting is from a fire that was set by people that were having a big party to celebrate a wife's, I think she was
Baby reveal.
the first child.
Wow.
That's
Fell
crazy.
off
That's what they call them. The smoke, the fire, you know, that they do the baby reveal to show the color?
Oh,
The gender
God.
reveal? And
yeah,
then that smoke, something ignited and it started a fire.
well, they set off
Oh my gosh.
Huge
and
fire.
that started fire.
I can't remember do you remember which fire it is? That,
Oh,
No.
no, it's one up in Ukaipa.
okay.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
Nancy coming
right.
on the phone.
Hey, family.
Hey,
Hi,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Oh,
I'm very
yeah.
frustrated that I can't be on the computer.
That's
Well,
okay.
we're glad you're
Aunt Betty was asking Paul a question.
Have you been
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
in any of the
That's right, she's not gonna be there.
stuff to keep people from doing trouble?
I can't hear. Have I gone to any of the,
Have you arrested anyone for setting a fire?
no, I've never gotten anybody for arson. No,
Not yet.
might happen. Not too late.
Could be coming anytime now.
But I've gone up and worked the fires. It's kind of weird. I drove, probably 5 years ago, we had the 15 freeway closed in the Cajon Pass. And I drove, it was all closed and I had to go up the pass to check on something. And then I came down and I just stayed on the same side of the freeway. So I went like 10 miles wrong way on the 15 freeway. Never saw another car on either direction. It's kind of
Wow.
fires on both sides of me. It's kind of weird in the middle of the night.
Kind of scary.
Yeah, but it was cool. I
Oh,
watched the
they
telephone
seem
pole
to
fall
have
over.
put all out of their family. No. what they're doing.
Well, you guys should take turns just updating Aunt Betty about what's going on with you. If you haven't talked to her.
Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't been out there for a couple of years.
A long time.
I sent you a birthday card, and it's probably going to be a long, boring letter, but I updated you on our kids and grandkids and family and everything, and it should be coming on your birthday.
It will be just great.
We do have Aunt Betty. It's pretty fun. We have all of our kids. They've lived in England and Australia and Connecticut and Ohio, and we have all of them in Utah now. And the furthest one away is our oldest daughter, Michelle, who lives in St. George. But the other two are a mile away and 12 miles away. So we feel pretty blessed that they're all so close now.
Right. Tara, you're being very quiet.
I just wait my turn. I can't talk with all these.
It's your turn, Terry.
Go for it.
My turn? Okay. Everything's good here. We just had our 4th grandbaby, a little girl named Lennon.
I have 4 grandchildren now.
Oh my gosh.
So they're all doing well. Everybody's doing great.
Have you counted recently?
Aunt Betty was asking how many grandchildren, great-grandchildren, all of that do we have now?
54 grandkids and 65, I think, plus a little bit great grandkids.
It's hard to keep that up to date.
Just a few, Aunt Betty. We just have a few.
Unbelievable.
All right,
Keep going,
Kathy.
Terry.
Oh,
Keep going, Terry.
Keep going.
Okay. Well, 2 of my kids, the oldest 2 live here in town. Breck just moved from San Francisco because they were just tired of the mess that San Francisco's in. So they moved here and were living with us. And while here, decided just to buy a house. And so
Nice.
they bought a house. They live about 15 minutes from us. And Crew lives just around the corner from them.
That's fun.
So all 4 grandkids live up about 15 minutes from us. And then Powell is in the Sandy Draper area with his wife. So everybody's doing great. Work's going well. We're just staying busy.
That's great. Chris, how's your world going?
Oh, it's busy. I work, I don't know if you know, but I work for the state of Nevada with Veteran Services. I manage the Veteran Cemetery.
I'm going to,
So we are very busy.
no,
We're
you've already
actually-
watched Susan. Let's watch a
Hey,
movie.
Nancy, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Hold on.
There you go. So July and August have been our busiest July and August since the cemetery opened 25 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
We've had more burials than, those were our 3rd and 5th busiest months in the history of the cemetery. And September is looking to be pretty dang busy. The
Is
problem
that
is
because of COVID or just
It's a-
because people are getting older?
it's a combination. A little bit has to do with COVID, but not much. It's because we had a shutdown for 2.5 months. And during that shutdown, we were only doing casket burials. We weren't doing cremation burials. So now everybody's trying to get the cremation burials done that couldn't do them during the 2.5 months that we were closed. And then also, during the COVID, I had 3 staff leave, and the state, due to budget constraints, they're not letting me fill any empty positions. We just have to work without those positions. There's a hiring freeze. So we're totally understaffed. So anyway, that's work. Work is extremely busy. I actually went out and worked out with the outside crew Thursday and Friday last week to try and help get caught up on stuff. And I have bandages on my hands with blisters because I'm so used to working in an office now. It's manual labor stuff. I don't know. Other than that, we're doing good. Susan is trying to get a job with the school district as a permanent teacher. She's been a sub before. She currently teaches preschool, but she's in the process. She'll find out next month after October 1 if they're going to hire her or not. That's what she wants to do. She wants to teach elementary school. And let's see, the kids are good. Soraya lives up with grandma up in Utah and is going to UVU and working up there. Chase is a senior in high school. Katie's a sophomore. They're both doing at-home online school right now. They both hate it. And that's about that. They finally got their yearbooks on Saturday for last year. But we're doing good. Everybody's healthy and everybody's keeping busy. Chase is having a hard time finding a job. He's applied at like 18 places and hasn't. A couple places said they're going to hire him, and then they backed out and said they're going to wait a little bit longer to fill the position. So he's having a hard time finding work. But we're doing good. Everybody looks forward to the weekends because that's when we go out to the movies or go to dinner or something like that. The week is just too busy.
Good. Are you working long hours?
No, I'm only putting in about 40 hours a week right now, just regular work week. Here, Katie just came and joined. There's Katie over there. Say hello, everybody.
Everybody's getting so grown up.
Yep, she's gonna try for her permit next month, so she's excited to start driving.
Oh my gosh.
You want to come say hi, Sue? She's on the phone. Here comes Susan's coming to say hi, Aunt Betty. So here's Susan, Aunt Betty.
There she is. Hi, Aunt Betty. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. Glad to hear. Are you at home right now, or are you somewhere else?
She's at home. She asked if you were home or somewhere else.
I'm home. Carol and Andy came out yesterday.
Oh, how fun.
Took me to birthday dinner with my next door neighbors who are like a second family. So,
Oh, that's wonderful.
We had a fun day.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Well, it's good to see you. You're
it's
looking
good.
very well.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, surprisingly. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone else. I just saw Marion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm in the middle of baking.
Uh-oh.
So Aunt Betty, I gotta say it's funny because I told the group this another time we spoke, but we haven't been out to see you since we were first married, unfortunately. And when we were
Chris, can you talk a little louder?
Yep. So we haven't been out to see you since we were first married, and we've been married 25 years now.
I know. I was just thinking how many of you I haven't seen since you came through and we went to a wedding lunch or something.
So you and Bill took us to one of your favorite restaurants, and not knowing, I showed up in shorts.
It isn't even there anymore. Well, the restaurant's there, but it's not the same people.
So
we went to one last night that's been a favorite, but fortunately when they sold it to a man who is a good friend. In fact, Monica taught him in school. And so he fusses over us a lot. Yeah. And when we go in for food, we get service before anybody else.
Do you remember the name of the restaurant? She's talking about Catamaran, the one that we'd go to now.
It didn't even exist.
Catalan, not Catamaran, Catalan.
The one that they went to isn't there anymore.
Oh,
No,
there you go.
I don't remember. The reason I brought it up is because I showed up wearing shorts and a tank top. And we tried to walk in and they stopped me and said I had to wear a jacket.
Yeah.
So they gave me a jacket to wear and I wore a jacket with shorts and a tank top.
The restaurant that Paul's kids like is still there, and it's been there for years and years and years. So now Andy's caught on to that one, so he often prefers to go there, but last night I preferred to go to Catalan.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun. We pick out, the neighbors and I pick out a few restaurants and don't even try to sample the rest.
Yeah, that's the restaurant you took Kathy and I to when we were down there last year.
Say it again, Terry.
I said, that's the restaurant that we went to when Kathy and I stopped by last year. That was really good.
Yeah, that's the one we went to last night.
Yeah.
But that,
Kathy's turn.
they have this is an interesting restaurant because it has a center court that's open to the air. And so they can serve in the center court. And but they can't serve food in any of the main restaurants. So last night they had people sitting in the main restaurant waiting for their table in the center court, and but you can get a full menu in the center court, and they've had to reduce the tables in there by half, so that they've got all the space problems taken care of. But unfortunately, last night, one of the tables not too far from us had an old woman who was drunk and very loud.
Oh, gosh.
So that was your dinner entertainment.
Absolutely.
They come in and they're fine, and then 20 minutes later, some of the older people don't hold their liquor very well. And this woman was awful. She didn't say anything that she didn't scream.
Oh, gosh.
And so anyway, but that's all right. So.
All right, who's next?
Kathy or Nancy need a turn.
I'm here. Okay, what's new with us? We did have a great windstorm on Tuesday that gusts up to 120 miles an hour, destroyed a Liberty Park, Liberty Park, Aunt Betty, and it took down like 200 trees in Liberty Park. There's still people up here without power, and it was on Tuesday. It destroyed I was in a little pocket where we didn't get it very bad. But University of Utah lost a lot. Salt Lake City Cemetery had hundreds of trees go down, smashing headstones and all that good stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was worse than hurricane winds, the gusts. So that came down from Canada, and that's when we got cold. So it was kind of weird.
Did you get snow?
No, we didn't get snow, but the wind, we got a little bit of rain, but then the wind just came, and it was some freaky weird thing they said from Canada, Canada air that came down and was that's when it dropped 50 degrees and it blew like crazy. But we survived. Like, one more thing, fires and windstorms and whatever else, earthquakes and COVID, and my work is busy. Yeah, my work, everybody's working short staff these days. So a team of 5, we're down to 2. So we're busy and have way too much to do. But my kids are all good. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's working. We had a new grandbaby born last month, to Kaylin, and her name is Tatum. So another new cute baby. So I have, how many? I have 8 granddaughters and 7 grandsons.
Oh my gosh.
So 15.
How large is the extended family now? Have you counted?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I wouldn't even go.
I don't know. I lose count.
Above and beyond the grandkids and the great grandkids and all the brothers and sisters-in-laws, and oh my gosh, I have no idea.
It's
Anybody know? Where's Tom?
Kathy said she thought it was 105.
Yeah, we'll have to count them up and let you know, because I don't know. I lose count. Can't remember sometimes who has how many. So, but otherwise, I think I don't know. We don't have too much new going on here. We got some of our kids. Kenna, who lives with me, whose little girl this one is, that's Kaya. She's my shadow when I'm home. Every day, every night, she says, "Are you going to be home tomorrow? You're going to be home tomorrow?" But they're building a house, so in the spring, they'll be moving out of my house. And so that'll be an interesting day. I'll make my house quiet. But I go to tons and tons of kids' sports activities. from football to baseball. Right now, a lot of the grandkids are in football, baseball. Some of the girls are in softball, soccer, dance, gymnastics. So it's kind of crazy. They're all busy, and yeah. And my son Tyler, his wife started a business of organizing people's houses, and she has started out. She goes around and she does container things and labels things and organizes closets and houses, and it's called Reset Your Nest. And she kind of started out and has gotten busy fast. So she's been everywhere from Florida to California. She's going to Ohio. She's got friends in high places, and they said, just come to me. I'll pay you. So she's all over the place. So, and they have 4, so they're really busy. They're real busy. But oh, and Kaya wants you to know she's going in her swimming lessons there. Can you say hi? Wave hi. Hi. So, but
Paul, have you adopted any more children?
have I what?
No, I'm asking Paul.
Oh, Paul, you want Paul?
Yeah,
You're on
she was
mute, Paul.
asking if Paul abducted any more kids.
You're on mute.
Hello,
Paul, you're
Paul.
on. There you go.
We just got the 2 with the adoptions were final about 2 years ago now. So we're not doing any more foster or anything. We just got the 2 and we're full with 4 in the house, 4 in the house, and Zach's out on his own. Hey, I put this picture up earlier. I don't know, did it pop up on your screen when I shared that picture?
Yeah, it flashed up there.
Look at Kaya. Can you put her up to the screen?
Oh.
She looks like her great grandma.
Aunt Dee Dee.
Yep.
Aunt Dee Dee.
It looks like Aunt Dee Dee.
Mommy, you look like
Look
her.
at, she's saying that Kaya looks like Aunt Dee Dee.
Ah, how about that one? Well, the red hair, we got the red hair for sure.
But the curls and the face just looks like her.
There you go.
Well,
I
You'll just-
don't think Nancy's had a turn.
grandfather used to really
She
put on
muted.
some Christmas face.
Nancy, you're muted. Are you able to unmute?
Yeah.
Nancy,
your
are you
phone and see.
there?
Nancy, you have to unmute.
Nancy's on the phone, but she's on mute, so we're trying to get her to unmute so she can
Yeah.
give you an update.
Where is Nancy?
I can't do it, Nancy. You have to do it
In
yourself.
Mission Viejo.
Isn't it like star 6 or something?
Shoot, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to unmute it. Or I can't unmute it. I'm not sure to tell her how to do it.
I'll go
What
downstairs.
about Marion? Marion, have you gone?
We'll get the deacon.
You just got back?
I don't know, I kind of talked at the beginning, but so obviously we live in Germany now. I don't know if some of you know, but some don't. We just did an impromptu trip out to America. We were out there for 3.5 weeks. Got to see my 2 oldest, who we took up to BYU, Idaho for their second half of their sophomore year. So that was super fun. They finally got their licenses at 19 and 18. So we feel comfortable because that's a little bit late. And we just got back to Germany. We got to go to Yellowstone, and we all really needed it. It was good to be here again on the same continent and see each other. So it was only 9 months, so not even that long like that, but for me it felt like forever. So
How long do you expect to be in Germany?
So our goal was about 3 years. We figured it would take that long for the kids to learn German and to feel comfortable and really feel like they fit in here. So we, in December, it will be 2 years already. And then, so we just have that 1 year left. But it's really up to us. We just have a normal job here, and we have a visa that we could live here the rest of our lives if we want to, or we could go back whenever. So it's really up to us, and then we have to find a new job when we go back to America since a company didn't send us here. So that would be the husband works with avionics. And as we all know, airlines and things right now are not looking so great. So we'll see what happens. He does all the computer stuff in airplanes, but But if companies aren't ordering new products, then there's not a lot of work. So, but we're really good out here. We have really good job security out in Germany. So we're doing great out here. We'll see what happens in the future. And yeah, and Aunt Betty, the one thing we stopped by, it can't be that long ago, 2.5 years ago. And we saw like your books, your memory books, your family stuff. And I feel like you have a treasure of family history out there that we just don't know. Well, especially me, being the youngest, I think I don't know a lot of it. But so stories and things like that, would be fun to hear some of your memories and stories from when you were growing up. That would be really exciting for me.
Did you understand what you're kind of cutting in and out, so I'm gonna just see if she, and Eminem was saying basically that you've got such a wealth of history and knowledge, and being the youngest, she doesn't really know all those stories and stuff, and she would love to be able to have that and be able to have you share all that. Not today, but you know, that would be fun for, yeah.
Right.
And Betty's actually given me a lot of pictures that I haven't done a whole lot with, and they're in a box, safe and secure. I think it'd be fun to get them out to everybody as well. So,
well, we still have a ton to go through. So one of the things that they discovered when we were pulling pictures was what a politician their great-great-grandfather was in. And you know, all of his pictures when he was in the state legislature, and when he was a member of the state tax commission and all that stuff. When I was in college, there's a story that they tell about me because my father was head of the tax commission, and the president of the University of Utah at the time used to come to the house to negotiate his budget. And so when I started the University of Utah, I didn't get my classes because I was at the end of the alphabet.
Can you mute that other number?
The A raise off, that I can't get my classes. And he gave me my classes. This is the president of the university. And my father said, "Don't you ever do that again." He said, "Do you realize how many things you've cost me?" But I got my classes.
Aunt Betty, I love the story of when you were born and how early you were born, and that the nurses and the doctors told your family you would either be brilliant or an imbecile.
That's right. Because I was born 2 months early, and back then they didn't have all the automatic controls for oxygen. And one of my father's cousins, with him he was very close, was head of the nursery at the hospital. She didn't go home for 5 days and nights to monitor my oxygen. And then the doctor said, you know, you're not going to be this child's not going to be an average child. She'll either be real smart or she'll be just nothing. So fortunately for me,
you got the real smart.
Yeah, it went to the real smart direction. So
You came out on the brilliant end, big time.
And what an absolute miracle that you survived.
Exactly.
So
what did they ask me?
They're saying that's a miracle that you survived and that you came out on the brilliant side.
I was kept in the hospital for 6 weeks after my mother was released, so that they could, because I couldn't swallow or do anything, so they had to feed me, putting a tube down my throat, and they wouldn't let me go home until that didn't have to happen anymore.
Yeah.
So Oh, that stuff I don't remember. I remember hearing about it. My mother was a great quilter, and she and her lady friends used to set quilts up in the living room. And I got to play under the quilt. And then I heard a lot of these stories that the ladies are talking about it. But when I started school, I got pneumonia, and I was afraid to go back because I was still sure I'd be the dumbest kid in the class. And my mother told me I came home the first night and said, "Well, that's no fun. I still know more than all the rest of them." But yeah, they babied me for a while. Not anymore.
Looks like we might have Nancy back. Is that you, Nance?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yay.
Well, I kept unmuting, and then it kept saying the host wants you to unmute, and I said I did, and it finally said push *6 to unmute. So that's what just unmuted me. I don't know why it wasn't unmuting.
right.
So I sure don't like doing this over the phone. I wish I could see everybody, especially Aunt Betty, who I
Are you
haven't
at
seen in
home,
like
Nancy?
5 years. What? No,
Where
I
are
am
you
watching What?
Where are you at?
I am watching a family. I am at their house, and the older daughter cannot find her computer, and Dave was trying to help me get on Zoom on their family computer, and it wasn't working. So then now I'm on the phone, and so anyway, I'm just sad I don't get to see everybody's faces. And
Where are you
Tell us
living
about your
now?
family.
what's that?
Tell Aunt Betty about your family.
Okay, Aunt Betty. I'll keep it short, and I'll probably have to end soon too. I got a little one here, so. Hi, Aunt Betty. I love you. I miss you.
Hi.
I know it's been about 5 years since I've seen you.
Talk loud, Nan.
Okay, louder than this?
I haven't seen Crystal in a while.
Okay.
But the other,
Is that okay? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Nancy's going to tell you about her kids, her family.
okay.
Okay, Aunt Betty, I have my 5 kids. I have my daughter Jamie, who's married and has 5 of my grandchildren. And they live about an hour from me, so I visit them every weekend. And like Kathy, I go to all their sporting events, school events, whatever they have. But right now with COVID, that's kind of non-existent. And at least here anyway. Wish it wasn't though. And Taylor he lives about a half an hour away from me. He's doing great. He's working. Corey is working. And let's see, Kaylee is married and she lives in Pasco, Washington with her husband and 2 daughters. And Kyle is married, my youngest, and he lives in San Diego about an hour away from us also, and has a little boy, Julian, and we have 8 grandkids. And I'm a nanny. I just babysit and watch kids all the time. That's kind of where I am now. I'm watching a family for 5 days while their parents are in Lake Powell. And we're doing good. Everybody's doing good. You know, the COVID thing stinks, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But wish we had some of the things coming back like you guys do in Utah and everywhere, other places. But, still not very much open around here and kind of dull, but trying to find the joy in it all. And hopefully Dave and I might actually be coming out there. We're trying to look. We're trying to book a little getaway that we have coming to us. So we're trying to see, and we might come out to Palm Springs. If we do, I'd love to come visit you. And
give me a call. I don't guarantee I'll be here, but you can give me a call.
So yeah, but we're doing good. Just hoping these fires and everything go away soon too. I don't know how bad the smoke is for everybody else, but just praying for everybody. And
we're sort of semi-overcast today. We had a lot more smoke yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it was where my daughter is in Washington. It was so bad they told everybody to stay indoors. It was hazardous, and she sent us a video, a snap, and it was pretty bad. You can't even. She was driving on the freeway, and you couldn't hardly see in front of her. That's how bad it was. So, yeah. But we sure miss you and miss everybody. And I wish all my grandkids. It seems like Terry and who was the other one? Cindy. It's like all your kids and grandkids are moving close to you. I want that. How do I get that to happen? So, well, I have at least.
Oh, are you done, Nance?
No, yeah, I'm done. I was going to say I have at least 6 grandkids close, but I'd love my other 2 close too. But so anyway, okay, who's next? I don't know who's on, so.
It's hard to have them move close when you live in Orange County.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I know that.
I want to hear an Aunt Betty story if whenever the time comes from my life.
That's okay. We probably ought to close off for today.
And Betty's saying that we might need to go. Andy and I have to head out shortly, so.
Okay.
You guys don't want to.
Okay, put your face in there so we can say hi, Carol. Hi.
Hi,
Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
You guys really are there. Now we have proof.
Aunt Betty, I love you, and it's so good to see you, and you look great.
Thank
You and Mom both amaze me. I can't believe you're just beautiful women.
Well, I wish I could see how great y'all look.
Have a great birthday, Aunt Betty.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yes. I don't think we'll do anything more.
How many years young are you, Aunt Betty? How old are you going to be?
87.
87.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's not bad. That's only 40 years more than me.
She's Aunt Dee Dee's age.
Got a long way to go, huh, Chris?
Yeah.
Yep, they were just 3 months apart.
Oh, okay.
You and Aunt Dee were only 3 months apart.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was the oldest one, and then another brother had a boy, Leland, who came after Shirley, and then I came. And nobody knew my mother was pregnant because Anne was living with my father and mother because Ernest was in Chicago and they couldn't afford for her to be back there. And so my mother kept telling everybody she couldn't do anything because of Anne. And when I was born and born early, my father's father wouldn't believe it. Where did you pick that one up?
Yeah, because Grandpa didn't know she was going to have a baby.
Oh my gosh.
And for years I kept the coffee mug that he brought over and put on my head as a hat when he came to visit the first day I was home.
Oh my gosh.
Finally it broke.
That's awesome.
Well, it's good to talk to all of you, and I'm going to make these guys go so that we don't make them late for the next appointment.
Right.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you all. I'm going to have to say goodbye too. I love you all. I love you, Aunt Betty.
Auntie.
Bye, everybody.
Love you, Mom.
Bye.
Love you, Mom. Love you, everybody. Bye. Signing off.
All right. So we're going to call it. Is everybody done?
Mary,
Thanks,
are you back
Paul.
in Germany now?
Whoop,
Yeah,
sideways.
we are. We got back this morning. So
So I'm upstairs in my pajamas, just wearing shorts, and I hear a knock Thursday night at like 9:30, 9:45. I'm ringing the doorbell. I'm like, who's ringing my doorbell? It must be a neighbor. Usually at that time, it's a neighbor and they need something. There's an emergency. They need help with something or something like that. So I was getting ready to go help a neighbor. I opened the door, and Marion and her entire family is standing at my doorstep.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
that was fun.
I was like, what the
Especially
heck?
since you didn't know we were even in America. That was
No,
cool.
I had no idea. And you all had masks on, so it only took me a couple seconds to recognize who it was, but you know, it went like slow motion.
Yeah, we were trying to be
And then
careful.
It's almost been 2 years since I've seen you guys, so your kids were all taller and then bigger, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I got to go over to Mom's and see him for a few minutes while they were saying bye to Mom. And her boys, I mean, they are just giants. Just
Yeah.
unbelievable. But it was so fun to see you guys, Mousy. It was really fun.
No, we had a great time. It was really nice, and we didn't get to see a ton of people because we were being careful, but we got to at least try and do a few stop-bys and wear a mask, and people probably thought we were weird. One funny thing is our car had to get its brakes repaired, so I borrowed Mom's car while we took our car in, and I wore my mask the whole time I was driving her car all by myself because I didn't want to get, you know, anything in the car in case I become sick. And I couldn't help but think, how many people are looking at me thinking, who's this stupid woman wearing a mask in the car all by herself?
Funny.
I'm like, oh, I'm doing it for Mom. I'm doing it for Mom.
I point that out to people all the time that are in my car. I'm like, look, that person's by themselves and they're wearing a mask.
Or like they're out taking a walk or something.
Yeah, those are the funny ones.
Yeah,
One's walking their
I see
dogs
that
and
too.
they're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Not me, I walk without mine.
You still have a car out here, Marion?
What?
Well, we borrowed Dave's parents' car to drive up with Brianna and Trevor, and Brianna and Trevor have a little car now. So I guess technically we have a car because we purchased it for them. So, but if they go on missions, then it will become ours when we come back. So,
That's awesome.
It was just so fun to be out there. You guys, we were laughing because we went to like Walmart and I was seriously doing jigs in the aisle. I'd be like, graham crackers, and I was like running all over it. And Brianna just thought, oh Mom, you look like an idiot, because I would seriously like jump and squeal and instant oatmeal, I can't believe it. And I was so excited. So it was a lot of fun. We packed our suitcases full of Lucky Charms and Rice Krispies and fajita packets and all these weird things that the customs people probably thought we were bonkers, but
so you got all that. Mom told me you were doing that. You got all that through customs, okay?
Oh yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, no big deal. So yeah, so kind of fun. Anyway, it was fun. It was definitely fun seeing those of you that we could. So, and anybody we didn't, we were just really, I wasn't even planning on stopping by Chris's, but he's literally like, I don't know, 4 minutes off the freeway. And so I was like, it can't be this close and not stop. So it was a lot of fun. And it was super fun for all the kids to be together. Like I said, it's been Brianna and Trevor left for school a year ago and they came home for Christmas break to Germany. And other than that, we hadn't seen them for a year. So 2 weeks out of the whole year was just kind of a long time. So
that's cool.
It was good.
So was it last minute plan to come out here?
Yeah, so I kind of had a breakdown and I cried about how my kids are trapped in America and I'm trapped in Germany. And Dave had been thinking about it anyway and felt like, you know what, we just need to go out there. And so the next day I actually had a doctor's appointment and I got a text while I was at the doctor's office and he said, I just bought tickets. We're all going to Germany in 7 days. So it was very last minute. And honestly, the COVID thing made it really great. We went on the sweetest plane. It was fairly affordable for 5 people to travel round trip. And just a lot of fun. So
that's so awesome.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. So now we're back home now, and it was long enough that it feels good to be back home. So we're glad to be back here and get back to life a little bit. So yeah, but
very
it's
good. Well, it was good to see you guys.
Thanks for always setting these things up.
You're welcome. It's fun to see everybody.
Yeah, it was.
Chris, I just love your beard.
I want to hear it.
I could reach through the phone and pet it because it looks so soft and fuzzy.
Cindy, I want to hear your Aunt Betty story.
Oh, I'll tell it to you really fast. So when I was a senior in high school, my friend Jerry, who's a girl, Jerry and I, we got to go fly to San Francisco. That's where she was living there. And if Dad ever found this out, he probably would have died. But so here we were, these two girls flying to San Francisco, and Aunt Betty was working full time at the time. And so each day, I think we were there for like 3 or 4 days. It was just a blast-a-roo. Anyway, so she would drop us off at different places, you know, like on campus. What's the name of that college up there in San Francisco? Anyway, but it was in the 60s, so it was in the time of, you know, the play Hair was out, and if you guys know what that is. And anyway, but the campus, there were all kinds of riots and everything going on the campus. What is campus?
Is that Berkeley?
Mom? Berkeley, yes, Berkeley.
Oh, yeah.
So, so Mom always remembers stuff better than me. And so Jerry and I, we just thought we were it, because here we were, these high school seniors walking around this college campus, and just everything that was going on. And looking back on it, it was probably pretty dangerous well, I know it was dangerous what she let us do, but and Mom knew what we were doing, except for when we went to Hair. So
Well, you told me about it.
Yes, there's tons of nudity. There were tons of nudity in Hair. Like at one point, the house lights came up, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard any music from Hair, but it was about, you know, long hair, blah, blah, and that's what the thing was about. Anyway, and so Jerry and I are just sitting there, and we knew all the music from it because it was on the radio and everything, and it was just Aunt Betty and Bill and me and Jerry. We're sitting there, and all of a sudden, the house lights go down, and so the whole stage is totally black, and then the house lights come up, and every single person in the cast was nude. And then they start dancing around, and Jerry looked at, my girlfriend wasn't LDS, but Jerry looked at me, and I looked at her, and we just started laughing. I mean, we just started laughing. And I just leaned over to Aunt Betty, and I said, we can't tell my dad about this at all. And Aunt Betty felt terrible because she'd been to see the play, and when she saw it, they didn't do that. So she had no clue what we were going to be seeing, and she was dying, just dying. And anyway, so that was one of the things. And thank goodness I can't even picture that stage in my mind at this point in my life. Anyway, but the other thing that was really cool, she was getting ready the day or two after Jerry and I were going back to San Diego. She was having this great big dinner party. And I can't remember how many people. Like, it seemed like there were at least 12 couples coming, and I think more. But anyway, so one day she drops us off downtown. She gives us this guy's card and tells us to go to this jewelry store and order or pick out however many people were coming, couples. She wanted different place settings of china for every person that was coming. And so Jerry and I got to go in there and into the jewelry store. And of course, this guy's looking at us like, what are you two punks doing, you know, coming in? Because I mean, it was this posh place. And then I handed him the card, and I said, hi, I said, I'm Betty Ward's niece. And everything just changed. It was like, oh. And so anyway, it was really cool. So I told him what we were there for. And she said, you know, you just go ahead and you and Jerry pick out the place settings, and then I'll, you know, I'll pay for it. He'll send me the bill or something like that. I don't remember how we paid. We didn't pay for it then, but she did. But that was just one of the funnest things I'd ever done in my life, is to go into this jewelry store. I don't even like China. But to see all the different things that were available, all the different patterns and flowers and everything. And we sat there, and that's what I was going to bring up. I was going to see if she even remembered doing that, because Jerry and I mean, to this day, I can't believe she did that. You know, here we are, these 17-year-old kids. I don't know how much the bill was.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Thousands.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a story I wanted to share with her. It was mine and Jerry's trip to see. She may not even remember that, But that's one of my just funnest stories about Aunt Betty. And are you guys old enough to remember when she would come to our
For
house
Christmas.
for Christmas and she'd cook us all individual Cornish game hens?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember
I
that?
don't remember
Yeah.
that, but I remember her always being
You,
there.
Chris and Paul?
Yeah, in fact, when Susan and I went to visit her when we first married, she asked what meal I would like her to make, and that's what I requested, was Cornish
Did
beef.
you really?
So she made
Anyway,
it for us.
thanks for listening. But that's my stories about Aunt Betty. But it just, it was just so fun to be on Berkeley on this campus. And, we were too stupid back then to even be scared about drugs or anything else happening to us. So we just had a whole day of a blastaroo on that campus talking about how weird people were and how it was so different than San Diego. And it probably wasn't that different. We just weren't exposed to any places in San Diego.
Yeah.
Mom, did she used to come for Thanksgiving and Christmas? Or just
No, just Christmas.
Remember, Paul, she used to take us to Toys R Us and let us pick one thing each. And we'd always pick Atari games or ColecoVision games.
Yeah, I actually, yeah.
Well,
I just
the reason
remember-
that Grandpa didn't know Grandma was pregnant when she was going to have Betty is because after Grandma had her third baby, her tummy never went down. So she always had a big tummy. And Grandpa didn't want more kids. And so Mommy, while she was sick with Dee Dee, doing everything, she was taking care of Grandma so that Grandpa wouldn't know she was throwing up and not feeling well and not doing well. And so that's why Grandpa never knew she was pregnant, because she didn't change how she looked.
Why
So-
didn't they want him to know?
Because he would have been mad.
Well, he's gonna be mad at some point, I guess.
I
till the
know,
end.
eventually you're gonna know, but hopefully, I guess when you see the baby, there's not much you can do about that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
do
do dumb
remember.
things when you're pregnant too. So, but anyway, that she just didn't want him to know. So here's Mommy being sick as she was, or even sicker, sometimes trying to do everything Grandma should do so Grandpa wouldn't know that she didn't do it. So it was kind of funny when she told us about it.
Here when you guys did that, but I just think it's interesting. I hear that story right now that you're sharing, and I knew about that, but I forgot about it. But just like I was saying, walking into that jewelry store and the jeweler's just looking at us like, okay, get these two kids out of here. And the minute I said her name, it was like we were royalty or something,
Yeah, because Betty couldn't come pick us up, so she sent the limo guy.
The
And he
limo.
took us for a ride and was showing us around as he drove. It was really fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
That was a fun trip.
and the fact that we rode on the train was
Yeah,
also
all the
just
way.
cool,
Yeah,
That
took
was
the
fun,
train up
too.
there and
Yep.
then going on the ferries back and forth and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good trip. All right, well, love you guys. It's good
Love
to
you
see everybody.
guys.
And we'll